All these old ladies coming in here to buy the cheap wine. Ain't no better than all these bums coming here to buy that cheap wine. Mike's music method. Come on in, finger picking chicken pickers. Today I am honoring Donnie's request for Charlie Parr's Cheap Wine. If you don't know the song, go look it up. There's a few versions hovering around. This is the one that's live at Terrapin Station, I believe. A very quick one, and he's down-tuned a whole step. You guys are going to love this song. It's fun. It's very mesmerizing, also redundant, but mesmerizing. Depending. If it doesn't mesmerize you, then you'll find it redundant, but if it does, you're going to love it. Either way, very cool right-hand stuff. Really repetitive, so in one regard it's easy. But the two things that make it awesome are its speed and also what Charlie is doing with his thumb, and we'll talk more about that later. But Donnie, thank you for requesting the song. Here it is. Charlie Parr's Cheap Wine. And Donnie's going to go out there and drink all the cheap wine with the old ladies and the bums drinking all that cheap wine. Let's do it. Measure one. But before we dive in, Charlie is tuned a whole step down, very low. Here I'm doing it in standard just for the ease of learning it, but keep that in mind when you sing it and when you play it. He's actually tuned a whole step down. Find what works for your voice. So we've got a basic A minor. This song is very thumb heavy. So I think it's really gonna push your thumb's capability and kind of shatter the box open for you. I know Townes does some interesting stuff where he's not just doing it standard pattern, but this one is even crazier and it's very fast. So it's going to be a fun challenge, get you thinking outside of the box. You realize just how amazing your right hand thumb is, this God-given thumb, capable of amazing things. So we're on an A minor chord. We go from 5 to 3, and I'm just doing the thumb right now. It's going to be 5, 3, 4, 2. And now this tab is going to be confusing because we've got thumb open on the 5th string, right? I'm just doing a simple A minor chord. Thumb open on the 5th, then the thumb goes to the 3rd string, then my pointer finger is hitting the 2nd string. And that's the rhythm, 1, 2, and. Then the end of the measure is thumb on the 4th string, and then thumb on the 2nd string. And I'll give a lot of detail this first measure. Make sure you're playing the thumb in the right spot. It's always on the downbeats. 1, 2, and 3, 4. The 1, 2, 3, 4 is always the thumb. So what I'm saying here, let me try to say it better, is here on the 3rd note, I'm playing my index finger on the 2nd string. But then in the end of the measure, I'm using my thumb to play that 2nd string. And make sure you do it that way, because if you don't, you're never going to get the song as smooth and as fast as Charlie Parr. So that whole measure one more time. 5th string with the thumb, 3rd string with the thumb. The and beat is with my pointer finger on the 2nd string. Then the measure ends 4th string thumb, 2nd string thumb. And play to a drum beat, do it nice and slow, really clock it. But this is what you're going for. Measure 2, we go to an F chord. Simple. We don't need to play the big old bar. We don't need to wrap our thumb around the top. We're just doing the first 4 strings of an F chord. 1, 1, 2, 3. And he hammers on at the beginning. Let me play the measure. So I'm hammering on open to 3 on the 4th string. It's open, I hammer onto the 3. Then my thumb jumps to the 2nd string, and then immediately after that, my pointer is playing the 1st. So it's the hammer, thumb on the 2nd, pointer on the 1st. And then we end the measure, thumb on the 3rd, and that's a thumb again on the 2nd. Thumb, thumb, and thumb, thumb. And whatever you do, just don't drink all that cheap wine. Measure 3, it's a C chord, very simple C chord. We actually don't even need our ring finger playing the 3rd fret of the 5th string, because he never hits the 5th string. So we got this C chord, and the pattern is thumb on the 3rd. So he starts on the G, making it a 2nd inversion C chord, C/G. thumb on the third, thumb on the second, and it's with my pointer finger on the first string. So you already noticed how the thumb is moving different string sets, doing different patterns. So you got that, 3, 2, and then the pointer finger does the first string. Then the measure ends with my thumb on the fourth, and then my thumb on the third. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Measure 4. You guys doing all right? Thumb having fun, getting stretched out. Measure 4 is a G chord, and we just need the low notes, just the 3 and the 2. He's never hitting that top string, so you don't need to bother about putting your pinky there. But our pattern starts on 4 actually, with a thumb on the fourth, thumb on the third. So you notice that always has been the same. It's always a thumb and a thumb. Here we have 4, 3. Then the and of that beat is my pointer on the second string. Thumb on 6, thumb on 5. Really cool little measure. All you bums, better buy Mike some cheap wine. He gives you all these tabs for free, and he doesn't even ask you for cheap wine. This is my donation pitch, guys. If you're getting value from this channel and appreciate the tabs and the videos, give some value back. That could be monthly support or one-time support, whatever, through PayPal, Patreon. You can all that info is below the video. You can also just send me a nice email at mikesmusicmethod.com. Also, I started a new thing, which you guys can sponsor songs. My song list is so long that I don't know which ones to do. So go to my website. There's a little sponsoring song button, and make requests and chip in. And pay a few bucks to get a song done on the channel. But just know, guys, I'm gonna do this no matter what. But of course, your help and support will give me more time to do this, and I'll be able to get to more videos. Right now, it's a fun little thing I can do on the side. But if you guys keep supporting, my support's been amazing. Thank you to all my patrons. This is super distracting and annoying, but it's mesmerizing you because you're gonna give me all this cheap wine. Just buy Mike Milano all sorts of cheap wine. Ship it to his house. He wants to drink the cheap wine. Not really. I don't really like cheap wine. I don't really like wine. But anyways, you know what I'm saying. It's a value for value model. What are these videos worth to you? Please consider support. I would love to have more time to do these videos. And it's a little bit goes a long way, and a big bit goes an even longer way. So what are these videos valued at for you? Please consider. That's it. Let's keep going with the cheap wine. Measure 5. You guys are already halfway through the song. And it's kind of the same thing, just slightly different pattern. So let's keep going. The A minor is almost identical, a little different. We've got 5, 3 with our thumb, and then the and beat here is on the first string. And then he ends it the same, 4, 2 with a thumb. So how much of that is planned by Charlie versus him just being live and giving it some variety? I'm not sure. And feel free on this song, definitely on this one, to kind of do your own variety. Exactly where your fingers are going, not super important. I think it is important to learn it this way, just so you really are making sure you're doing some of those big jumps, because most people normally don't. So it's fun to experiment and do that. But once you kind of get it down, don't obsess on what string the and beat is on. Like, it's not super important. But in this measure, he's hitting 5, 3, 1, 4. Measure 6, we've got, it's exactly the same as measure 2, that same F chord. We've seen that before, exactly the same. And then guess what? 6, 7 is the same as 3, it's the C chord. And then here, measure 8, it's a different ending on the G. And throughout the song, I'm hearing this a little different, but at the beginning, there's definitely a moment, and there's several live versions. I'm going off the very fast one. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. There's many live versions. This is the speedy one. And we have, so this G chord starts the same, thumb, thumb, and, which was 4, 3, 2. But the ending's different. We got thumb on 6, then the thumb jumps all the way to the 3rd string. And then our and beat is on the 1st string. So we have the E in there, which gives it that G6 feel or whatever. Now Sometimes you might be hitting the second string. Hard to tell, but I think most of the time I am hearing that E. Again, it doesn't matter. It's very quick, and it's more about that percussive feel of it. And the reason that E works is because it's an anticipation, right? Then the whole thing repeats to measure 1, which is the A minor. Yeah! Before we do the slow run-throughs, let's put the lyrics to it. Again, some of the versions are a little bit different, but let's just get a general feel. All these old ladies coming in here to buy the cheap wine. Ain't no better than these bums coming in here to buy the cheap wine. So that's kind of like the studio version where it's a little bit slower. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of where the vocal is landing on the phrasing. It's a pretty loose song. There's moments where there's some overlap. Again, depends on the version. I think you guys get the idea. Slow run-throughs together, you got it. And that is it. I don't have many pointers to give you except go slow, right? Learn a song before you practice it. That's my new, I learned that somewhere. Learn a song before you practice it. And I like that saying because I used to say don't practice mistakes, and don't do that either. That's also a good saying, don't practice mistakes. Another way is learn the song before you practice it. So don't just like kind of go, oh, I kind of got it, and you keep messing up and you're still sloppy. Learn the thing. So learning it, think of like a child. You're gonna have to go tediously slow, and to the point where it's like, okay, I've got that memorized. I know which fingers should be doing which notes, and then only then practice, right? Then you can kind of move away from the page and put it in the context. Charlie's fast. And you're going to miss the strings very often. Don't get discouraged. You're going to play the wrong string. It's going to happen a million times. It's okay. We all do it. The other thing I will say is I always link to this guy's excellent video on posture. I'm not doing it now because I'm trying to make sure I'm in frame and I got my short shorts on, so I don't want to embarrass you guys with my handsome legs and make you feel inferior to this handsome lad over here. But you should be sitting like this. It's better for everybody. The right hand thumb should be leading. These fingers should be back here. My wrist is nice and straight because the guitar is elevated. And it makes it so much easier. So I just learned this song. It's hard for me to get it as quick as Parr, because my instinct is also to not jump so far with the thumb. So that's it. I won't belabor it. Take it slow. Be kind to yourself. Be patient. Learn the song before you practice it. Don't practice the mistakes. And something about the cheap wine. Getting intimate here at Mike's Music Method, nice and close. All right, let's do the slow run-throughs. We'll do it at a few different speeds. Here is very slow first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then even a little faster, but remember, loop these. You can always jump back, do it a whole bunch of times in a row. Not expecting you to learn it that quickly, okay? Be easy on yourself. I've been playing a long time and put in a stupid amount of hours. Go slow. Don't be discouraged if you can't do what I can. It takes a lot of hard work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Messed up the ending, but you get the idea. That's it. You guys can do it. Comment below. How did it go for you? If you learn the song, record yourself and share it. That's what I wanted to say. I would love to see your faces playing the song. And yeah, let me know how it's going for you. As always, let me know what other songs to do next, what other content you'd like to see. Charlie Parr, go get yourself some cheap wine. All right, later. Peace. And whatever you do, just don't drink all that cheap wine.